today was more bolt-on deals. Do you think we are going to see more of the same sort of thing, or are we going to see something bigger in terms of big ticket deals going forward now?
Well, I think today certainly we have seen some of those big ticket deals at least being suggested. M&A for the last 5 years, or however long you want to say the crisis is going on for, has been very much driven by bolt-on acquisitions. And I assume that that's going to continue even through the end of this year. However, M&A feeds M&A. And certainly this big tickets M&A, the sort of, several billion type deals, those are the ones that are going to drive further activity of the really large transformational type deals. Because of course, announcing a deal is a risky business in itself. If for every reason it sort of falls over, investors are not happy with what the strategy proposed, it's also sort of a direct risk to the boardroom members, right? So certainly now we see a very different environment for M&A announcements that we have over the last few years. For example,
yeah. Let me ask you about that environment. What do you look for ahead of a surge in big ticket M&A activity? What sort of environment?
Well, in sort of the macro level, certainly uncertainty is not a friend of M&A. So when you have general volatility in equity markets, etc., that it's not a very good environment for M&A. Of course, now we've seen positive equity markets sort of around the globe, really, and more than anything, less volatility for the last 6 months. And that tends to help also narrow the gap between the expectations and value between the seller and buyer. So you tend to see about 6 months lag from a sort of more stable, positive equity environment to the follow-on acquisitions coming through. Then, of course, sentiment is key, right? And what we've seen today, and actually that's been the case for the last quarter at least, is actually investors rewarding M&A transactions on the day of the announcements. So often what you tend to see, of course, is the target shares goes up naturally because there's a premium. But on the other side of the table, acquirers' shares tend to decrease. Sure. And that has not been the case. I mean, you gave some examples today, what's been happening, but that's also been the case for the last quarter. And that really gives a feel for sentiment. So shareholders seems to be pushing companies to do transactions using the pile of cash that we've heard so much about, and actually rewarding them on the day for doing this more big ticket items.